Hi, I'm Melissa with Make Sense of Magic, and today we're talking all about Fantasmic at Disneyland. We'll talk about viewing spots, dining packages, and other helpful information. Fantasmic is an amazing nighttime show that happens along the rivers of America, and if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. If you have seen it, you are probably interested in seeing it again, because Fantasmic isn't just any show. It's a must-see Disneyland experience. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Fantasmic made its grand debut back in 1992 at Disneyland Park in Anaheim, California. It was created as part of Disneyland's nighttime entertainment lineup and became an instant hit. Since then, it's become a beloved tradition for Disney fans of all ages. It makes everybody happy. I'm not lying when I say Disney fans of all ages. Fantasmic has become a tradition for lots of families, and if they don't see it on their Disney vacation, their vacation just isn't complete. The show was paused after the fire-breathing dragon went up in flames back in 2023. During the show's hiatus, Disney used this time to create completely new scenes, a reimagined battle scene, and they brought back the iconic Peter Pan scene on the pirate ship that's original to the show. At some point, they switched the pirate ship scene from Peter Pan to Pirates of the Caribbean, but now it is back to the original Peter Pan. The revamped show includes lighting effects, fire effects, water effects, and focuses on the power of imagination. Fantasmic is essentially a journey through Mickey Mouse's imagination. The show takes place on the waters of the rivers of America. Mickey puts on his sorcerer's hat and he conjures up all this amazing Disney magic using water screens and pyrotechnics and music and live performers. It's just awesome. You're going to see some of your favorite Disney characters as part of the show. There's amazing storytelling. It's just a show that you're going to be so happy that you're watching from start to finish. Fantasmic captures really the essence of Disney imagination. It's just Disney magic at its best. Whether you are a diehard Disney fan that goes to the parks all the time, or this is your first visit and you're just looking to add some extra magic to your trip, Fantasmic offers something for everyone. Plus, I feel like it is a perfect way to cap off your Disney vacation. I like saving it for the last night of my trip just because I feel like it kind of like puts the little cherry on top of my Disney vacation. Let's talk about viewing information, times, dates, performances, things like that. Showtimes are usually at 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. during peak seasons. So they show Fantasmic 2 times when they have higher crowds. You're going to want to check out the Disneyland app or the Disneyland website for updates on the day of your visit so you can see if it is happening when you are going to be there. During the off season, when it's slower, then it may only show once a night or they may not show it at all. So like I said, check the schedule. If they are going to show it during a slower time, it is going to be on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Fantasmic lasts for about 27 minutes, and depending on where you are watching it, that will kind of depend on when you arrive to your viewing area. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we talk about that and where to watch Fantasmic, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my next video. Where should you watch Fantasmic? There are a couple of different ways to watch the show. The show is free. Anybody can see it. It's included with your park ticket. And so there are free viewing options. And there's also paid dining package viewing. Both are great. But as no one is probably surprised, the viewing area is better with the paid dining packages because these guests paid extra for the great viewing section. Now keep in mind, all of the viewing locations we're going to talk about, except for 2, which I will tell you about, are standing viewing only. So you are going to stand up to watch the show. Let's talk about free general viewing spots first. Over by Frontierland and a little bit of New Orleans Square, there are areas along the rivers of America that are great spots. This is probably my favorite spot for free viewing. Just look for roped off sections where you can stand. So if you want to be in these sections, arrive early. I would suggest at least an hour in advance. If you want to be right up front, you're probably going to want to arrive around 90 minutes early. Another free viewing area is near the Haunted Mansion. This area opens up for non-dining package guests closer to showtime. So you can't show up here 90 minutes early and get a spot. They will open it up maybe 25 minutes before the show begins. So this does make a great option for last minute viewing, but the viewing is kind of over to the side a little bit. It's not as centered as the first option I told you about. So this is probably my second choice. A third location that you can sometimes watch Fantasmic is the Pirates of the Caribbean Bridge. So Disney will often open this for the second show, not the first show. If you want to check it out for the second show, it kind of offers you a unique vantage point that's up a little bit higher. I would still get here about 30 to 40 minutes beforehand. Let's talk about where you get to watch Fantasmic if you have a dining package. For a more relaxed Fantasmic viewing experience, dining packages are the way to go. You're going to need to eat a meal anyway while you're at Disneyland, and if you can turn your meal into a dining package so you can have a great view of the show, then that might be a good option for you. Dining packages at Disneyland are very popular. They do sell out. You can book them 60 days in advance, and if you know you want to do a dining package, especially if you want to do the Blue Bayou dining package, you're going to want to book it 60 days in advance so you can get yourself a spot. Let's talk about the cheapest option first. I think that this is probably one of the most popular options too, because it is cheapest, and especially if you have kids, it kind of makes sense to go with the cheaper option. This option is Rancho del Zocalo, the Fantasmic dining package. So with this option, you feast on Mexican Korean fusion style cuisine with a tasty 3-course meal for lunch or dinner, and you receive a voucher admitting you to a separate reserved viewing area for one of the 2 Fantasmic performances that evening. Now on the adult menu, you get to choose your entree. These choices change occasionally, but I'm going to tell you what is listed right now. There is a chili verde riblet, sweet and spicy shrimp taco, potato tacos, which are plant-based, and sweet and savory carne asada. Each entree is served with radish slaw, cilantro lime rice, Korean potato salad, refried beans, cortadillo, and a fountain beverage choice. Now the kids menu, they get to choose an entree as well. They get to choose kids riblet, kids potato taco, which is plant-based, or kids mac and cheese. Each kids entree is served with a mandarin orange and a refreshing beverage choice. Lunch and dinner cost the same for the Rancho del Zocalo dining package. It is $35 for adults ages 10 and up and $25 for kids ages 3 to 9. If you have a 2-year-old or under, then they don't charge for them. They would just share and eat off your plate. Lunch goes from 11 a.m. to 3:30, and dinner is from 3:30 to 8:30 p.m. Now, the viewing area for Rancho del Zocalo is kind of, if you're looking at the Rivers of America, you're looking at Mark Twain Island, it's going to be over to the left. This is a great viewing location. It's not quite as front and center as the Blue Bayou, but it is still awesome viewing with this dining package. Now, when you dine with one of the Fantasmic dining packages, they're going to give you a little ticket that you cannot lose. If you lose it, you're in big trouble. Put it somewhere safe. Do not lose it. It will tell you on the ticket what time you can check in to your reserved viewing area. So when that time comes up, if you're wanting to get up closer to the river, to the water where you will have the very best views, then I would get there maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the first time it says on your ticket. If you don't really care, if you're very front, then you can just kind of wander in whenever. You are guaranteed a spot, so it's not going to fill up. They're going to let you in. It will tell you on your ticket what time to arrive. Now, the Rancho del Zocalo packages are standing only viewing. When you first get there, before it gets too crowded in the section, then they'll let people sit down. But at some point, they're going to ask everybody to stand up and kind of move forward so they can fit more people into that area. The next package I want to talk about is the Belle Terrace Fantasmic dining packages. There are two options at Belle Terrace. The first one is the standard package. So with this one, you savor a delectable 3-course Southern-style meal for brunch or dinner and receive a voucher admitting you to a separate reserved viewing location for one of the 2 Fantasmic performances that evening. For brunch or dinner, choose dishes from the regular menu. So for brunch, you can pick items such as loaded house fries with egg, apple pie pancakes, Nashville hot chicken, and brisket mac and cheese sandwich, plus you get to pick a dessert. Dinner, you can choose from things like Nashville hot chicken and brisket mac and cheese sandwich, pork chops, sustainable fish, and a dessert. Brunch and dinner both cost the same. They are $55 for adults ages 10 and up and $30 for kids ages 3 to 9. Now, the viewing area for the Belle Terrace standard viewing, again, if you're standing right in front of the rivers of America and you're staring out at Mark Twain Island, then front and center would be the Blue Bayou reserved viewing, and then over to the right is the Belle standard dining package viewing. This is also super great viewing. It's basically the same as Rancho del Zocalo. They're just on different sides, but they're both really good views, and I think you will be happy there. The standard package also is standing room only, and same thing, it will tell you what time to arrive, all of that, so just pay attention to your ticket. There is a second option for Belle Terrace. This is the premium package. So with this package, you get to sit down while you eat your dinner, and you will stay seated. I mean, obviously you get to sit down while you eat your dinner, but you get to stay seated while you watch the show. So you can enjoy a 3-course dinner and you watch the evening's first performance of Fantasmic right from your table on their outdoor terrace. For dinner, you can choose dishes from the regular menu or from a dining package menu that has specialty items, including a platter that has fried chicken, brisket, pork belly, burnt ends. They also have a pot roast and mashed potatoes, and you get a dessert with that. Now, the pricing for this is a lot higher than the other dining packages. Dinner is $89 for adults, and kids are $45. If you want the premium Belle Terrace package, you have to have a 7:15 reservation. This will allow you to stay at your table for the first show. You get to stay at your table, so you get to stay seated. I have heard mixed reviews about this. Some people love it. They love sitting at their table. Other people feel like they are too far away from the rivers of America to really enjoy the show fully. Like, they feel like they're not a part of the show. They're just kind of watching it from a distance, which they are, because the outdoor terrace really is kind of far away from the rivers of America. Okay, let me tell you where you're going to be if you are doing the patio seating for the premium dining package at Belle Terrace. So let's again pretend you're standing front and center, looking directly at the Mark Twain Island. Why do I keep saying Mark Twain Island? Tom Sawyer Island. It's Tom Sawyer Island. I'm sorry. It's Tom Sawyer Island. So you're standing front and center in front of the Tom Sawyer Island, and then over to your left is the Rancho del Zocalo dining package. To your right is the Belle standard dining package, and right next to them is general viewing. Now, right behind that general viewing area is a walkway where people are going to be walking back and forth all during the show, and just behind that is the patio where the premium Belle Terrace dining package guests are watching the show. Now, it is a raised patio a little bit, but not a ton. So I've heard very mixed things. Some people are so disappointed by their views. Other people are happy because they got to sit down the whole time and watch the show, and they're totally fine that they were a little bit farther back. So you can make your decision. I just wanted you to have all of the information I have so you can decide if maybe that is a good option for you. The last dining package I want to talk about is the Blue Bayou Fantasmic dining package. This includes a 4-course meal at the elegant Blue Bayou, followed by ground seating in the reserved viewing area. For the Blue Bayou dining package, you enjoy a 4-course lunch or dinner and receive a voucher admitting you to a separate reserved viewing location for your choice of one of the 2 Fantasmic performances that evening. I just did this dining package. It was really fun. We walked inside and they walked us right to a table on the water, which is hard to get because it's on the water of the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, and everybody wants to sit there, of course. And we just got lucky that we were the ones who got to be there. They give you a menu and you can choose from several different things. I had a pesto pasta. They also had a chicken and shrimp dish. They have some gumbo. They had the famous Monte Cristo on the menu. So if you're wanting the Monte Cristo and you're going to be at Blue Bayou anyway, then adding Fantasmic to it might be worth it. You also get to choose an appetizer and a dessert, and then they give you a little souvenir item if you ordered a non-alcoholic beverage. So they gave us these little Mickey Mouse glow cubes, which is really fun. For this dining package, lunch and dinner are both $89 for adults and $35 for kids. Lunch for this option starts at 11 a.m. and dinner starts at 4 p.m. Like I've been saying, the viewing area for Blue Bayou is the very best viewing area that you can get. It is front and center, right in front of Tom Sawyer Island. And the nice thing about this viewing area is they let you stay seated. So everybody has a good view because no one's standing up. Because you know when you go into other viewing areas or you're trying to watch parades or fireworks, it seems like there's always a super tall person that stands right in front of you. This doesn't happen. Everyone stays seated, and so everyone has a good view, plus you get to sit down. Now, you are just sitting on the ground, so it is hard, and if you have a hard time sitting on the ground, then this may not be the best option for you. Now, we showed up for our Fantasmic viewing about 20 minutes before the show started, and we had a really great view, and we got to sit down. So I loved it. Sitting down is very nice. I want to share a few insider tips for the best Fantasmic experience because we all know that a little preparation goes a long way. So let's talk a little bit about some tips, and I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions that will be helpful as you're planning. Everyone always asks me, what are the best viewing spots? And it really doesn't matter if you're going with the dining package or the free viewing. The best spots are as close to the water as you can get and as close to the center as you can get. That's where you're going to have the very best views. There's a stage in the middle that is over on Tom Sawyer Island, and that's where a lot of the action happens. So try to have a good view of that stage. There's boats that are going to come along the rivers of America with characters on them, and they're parts of the show that you're going to be able to see no matter where you stand. But if you want a good view of the action on the stage, try to get as close to the water as possible and as close to the center as possible. At the beginning of the show, they do announce that if you are right next to the water, you might get wet. I have never gotten wet before, and I've been pretty close. I guess this is possible if it's kind of windy. Some of those water screens could blow on you a little bit. So if it's cold, you might want to think about that, but I haven't seen any problems. Now, of course, you do want to arrive early for a good spot, especially if you are watching it in the free viewing area. So plan accordingly, kind of plan your day. You can always go grab a snack, get a popcorn and a drink, and then head into the viewing area and just hang out and enjoy just not being in line and dealing with crowds. Just hang out and enjoy your popcorn and a drink while you're waiting. But it's definitely a good idea to arrive early. Sometimes Fantasmic can hit capacity, especially on nights where there's only one showing. So I do suggest arriving earlier rather than later. You can't just show up 1 minute before the show and always get a spot. If you happen to be watching the first show and they are doing fireworks that night, then just stay where you are after the show and you're going to have a great view of the fireworks. So you'll get 2 shows in one. So if you're watching the first show and there's fireworks, stay right there. They will make an announcement that says, if you want to view the fireworks, then stay where you are. This is a great place to see them. So keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons I like watching the first show, is because you can see the fireworks afterwards, but the second show is usually less crowded. So if you're going to be watching in the free viewing area, then the second show might be a better option because a lot of people don't want to stay that late, and you can usually get a better viewing spot later. You don't have to be there quite as early for the second show. All right, if you haven't had a chance to experience Fantasmic yet, what are you waiting for? Get on it. The new version of the show is fantastic, and I know you're going to love it. So there you have it, everything you need to know about Fantasmic. I hope this was helpful for you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my next Disneyland video.